everyone, it's Caitlin with Kait's Collectibles, and today I'm going to be doing a review for you of my limited edition Merida doll from the Disney store. So this is one of the 17-inch line of dolls that they do. And this doll is the main character from the Disney Pixar movie Brave. So Pixar's kind of first attempt at something of a fairy tale. Merida also got added to the official line of princesses, Disney princesses, after her movie came out. So she is one of the official Disney princesses. So as you see, looking at her box here, we have this nice sort of a Celtic detailing around the sides. Now, the movie's supposed to take place in, I believe it's Scotland. So there are lots of those kind of themes throughout both the movie and the box. As you look down towards the bottom there, they've got that usual banner ribbon, and that indicates her edition size. So she's sort of a different numbered size of editions. She's one of 7,000 dolls. They don't do 7,000 as a size very frequently. One of the other neat little details with her box here on the bottom front is just these little thistles there. I thought that was a nice little touch with the Scottish aspect to it. Also a little hard to tell, but I'll tip her back a touch here and you might be able to see a little bit of the reflection that they have in the box here with that background pattern, which is sort of a series of almost like Celtic knots. I'll scan around the sides of her box here. So the same sort of detailing around the side windows. And the top, you can see that again there. Sort of that shimmery, reflective background pattern. I really like that they do that with these boxes. It's a really subtle feature, but something that as a collector, when you're looking at it close up, you really notice. So the back of the box is really quite nice as well. Now, one thing I have to point out about this box is originally when I was storing my dolls, I had them in a spare bedroom and we didn't have a curtain on that window. So unfortunately, this doll, along with a couple of my 12-inch designer dolls and my wedding Rapunzel doll, all have a bit of sun damage in different parts of their box. So the reason that you see this goes kind of this like weird lavender color up here and then goes down to the gold, this is what happens with sun damage on these boxes. So the color gets altered and fades. It's one of those things that if I were to ever sell the dolls, I'd obviously have to disclose. But it's something that if you weren't aware, you might just think it was an artistic detail because it doesn't look completely faded out. It's not, it's sun damage. But we've got all the details back here about the doll as well as her dress, cape, all that. They really did a lot of describing of it on the back of this box. And then they've also got the usual price down in the bottom here where the price was lower. This was before the price jump increase in the dolls here. So you can see down there she was one of the $100 or $110 Canadian dolls. So I'll move this out of the way for just a moment and bring in her plastic cover because Merida's is a little bit unique. So she has that gold Celtic knot detailing around the front of her box along with color. A lot of them just have white on the front portion of the box. They actually did the color. And her motif is the bears, or the three brother bears. So we've got them on this detailing on both sides. And then just sort of the plant thistle decoration elsewhere. So kind of a neat thing about her case is that it's like that. Now I'm going to carefully remove her cardboard cover here so that we can get a much better look at her. She's also one of the dolls that I have not officially deboxed. I've thought about it, but changed my mind just because of how much I've grown to really appreciate this doll over time. So we're going to start right at her face here. So Merida's got this very fiery, crazy, out of control red hair. One of the things I would love to do if I were to debox her would be to release some of these ties on her hair so that I could really fluff it up. But I think they did a really good job with all the curls. It just looks very tamed, although it's hard to capture the true frizziness of it with the doll. They also have these really subtle little freckles on her face, even across her forehead. So sort of emphasizing that fair skin tone, red hair thing. I really like that they resisted the urge with this doll to put big fake eyelashes on her like they do with a lot of them. It's very pretty on some of the princesses, but it would be so incredibly out of place on Merida. So it was nice to see a little bit of restraint on their part in that respect. Now she's got this great gold organza trim on the dress that she's wearing. So you'll find that there and then at the sleeves. And the fur cape that she's got on is really, really nice. It sort of has this faux fur feel to it, so it kind of reminds me a little bit of a bear. The bear motif that plays throughout the movie is really heavily portrayed on her outfit here. She's got the bear brooch up at the top of her robe here, so the 3 bears, as well as she has the 3 bear pendant that she's wearing. And then that trails down to the 3 bears again on the belt that holds her quiver. And the nice stitching with that sort of Celtic pattern again. The whole dress is a very soft velvety fabric. The inside of this cape is absolutely incredible. This Celtic knot print on this sort of satin material on the inside, absolutely beautiful. I like that they've got this sort of tartan bag attached to her here. It's very subtle, that pattern, like with the cover on and the reflection. You may not even notice it, but it is there. And then same with this sort of Celtic detailing with this portion of the fabric at the bottom of her dress. I also like that she came with as many, I guess, sort of accessories as she does. Most of the dolls are just the doll these days when they make them. Some of the earlier ones had accessories, like Snow White had the apple and or she had the bird, and she had that necklace. Tiana had the frog. That may actually be the only ones that had accessories for the early ones. So she's quite unique. She's got her arrows, which do actually, if you wanted them to, come right out of her quiver. They're held in place with an elastic there. The bow as well was one of the things I was really impressed with when I first saw this doll. She has this nice detail on the bow, and she's got sort of the leather glove that she would wear to hold it. They've got the string there that's nice and taut. But if I turn her to the side here, what you can really see, and that's really should be emphasized, is this carving on the bow here. The way they did this, I thought, was absolutely an essential little touch that could have easily been skipped over. They could have just put the plastic bow in her hand. So I love the way that they did that. That alone is something that stands out for this doll for me, is that bow. Now, she has one of those plastic ties fixing the bottom of her dress in place. So to keep her boxed, I'm not able to get a look at her shoes. But if you take a look online, people have deboxed the doll, and they usually share really detailed pictures of all those little extra details. I should also point out that behind her, she's sort of standing against that misty forest, sort of the moors that she went into to follow the little sprites. So neat little background choice for her. I'll also give you a view of her from the top. Not a ton to see there, just the part in her hair. Nothing fancy hidden behind her head. Now we'll give another view from this side. So you can see really the fuzziness of that fur on the cape there. And like usual with these dolls, you'll find the certificate of authenticity tucked underneath the packaging here. So there's my certificate. So she is number 3186 of 7,000. And I like this certificate. There's something about the shimmery gold and the teal color that they chose that I think is quite nice. Some of them look pretty simple. And the back on this one is completely plain. So unlike some of the other ones where I've had French on the back, this one, they just have the plain plastic. So if by some chance Brave is actually your favorite Disney Pixar movie, this would be an excellent choice of doll to collect. If you're a collector of just the 17s in general, and you're considering adding Merida to your collection, I really recommend it. This doll is extremely detailed, especially to a level when you see some of the more recent dolls coming out. Collectors complain they're not detailed enough. This isn't how they used to make them. Merida is absolutely just head to toe full of extra little tiny details. So the more you stare at her, the more you like her. So I really recommend getting this doll if you can get your hands on her. Her price has definitely jumped in the last little while. If you're lucky enough to find someone who's selling her close to retail, good on you. So I'll be bringing you more reviews of the Disney dolls that I have in my collection, along with other items as time goes on. But if you have this doll in your collection, let me know what your favorite detail is on her. What is it about her that you like to stare at and you think is the most impressive feature that they put into this doll? You can follow me on Twitter. I'm at Kait Collectible on Twitter. And you can like, comment, share, subscribe to this video if you want to see more of my videos when they come out. Thanks!